third stream for Extra Life. I'm going to turn on some comments and we'll take it from there. I suppose it would help if I actually had the headset on. Welcome to the live stream number 3 for Extra Life. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share this stream on the Relic Knights page so that those guys who are following along with this painting can follow along. All right, so with that, I'm going to get this set up. We'll just give it a few minutes, okay? I'm gonna bring this. No, actually, let's just get started, and then at some point I'm going to need to bring my son upstairs. He just fell asleep behind me. And also, I'm going to share this on Twitter. Okay, so let's see. Painting catalog. All right. There we go. Okay. So anyways, let me get you guys caught up because there were a couple things I did off camera. So I apologize for that, but hopefully we should be able to just follow along just as well. So from last night we had him washed. We did a bunch of shades, and I continued doing a little bit more of that today. Hit him with a sepia wash, and then quickly, kind of a really thin sepia wash. The idea there is that I just wanted to give him a little bit of a golden brown color, and now I'm coming back and hitting him with some glazes that kind of bring that. You can see that transition there on the shoulder pad, trying to bring that in line. But that's it's going okay. It's not going great, but it's going okay. So let's do that, and let me open up my. Oh wow, I gotta sign in on YouTube with everything now, so because I changed my password recently, and you know how that goes. So I'm gonna change to that, and it goes like this. Just doing that so that I can see who's in the comments. All right, and here we go. And now I'm gonna go into. Oh. But you can see here what I'm working on here, kind of building transitions in that armor, and it's looking pretty good. I do need to actually paint in the pants, so we'll get to that in a minute. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to Play It Paint It Live. We're not going to be on terribly long, so but let's see what we can get here. Extra live stream 2013. Let's go to the view page. And here we go. There we go. Hello. Hey, what's up, Cameron? So yeah, this is the. So here's where I'm at with catalog. He's looking pretty good. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of glazes on this model because I want to. I did that airbrush work yesterday, and I want to keep those transitions nice and clean. So when you work with glazes, it is kind of weird because it's like teasing milk around the model. You don't. It's not like painting so much. Like, see right there, I just applied one, and like you saw me do nothing. It looked like I just put a clear bit of nothing on the model, and you have to do it again and again and again, and you have to allow the model to dry each time. So that's why when you look at those like super professionally done paint jobs, it takes them hours and hours and hours to do one piece. I'm not going to go like that. I'm not going to go that far into this. It's just going to, I can actually show you right here using these little back pieces right here what I'm doing. It's super easy though, but because these are going to be about the same color. Essentially, I'm just making glazes on those, and as you can see, the glaze just kind of falls right along the shadow, right where it needs to fall. And you just layer up, do layer after layer of that. And then at the end, you're going to hit it at the very edges of it, the very tops of it with the white. And then anything that's not blending well, like right here. See how that's not blending well? We can hit that with a little bit of the darker glaze to kind of cover it up, right? Right? And then actually, I think I just hit another patch of weirdness on that, like a weird water repellent patch. Sometimes that'll happen with resin if you didn't wash all the mold release compound. You'll get a little bit of that transition. Did I enjoy my day at the zoo? Yeah, I did. That was a lot of fun, running around with the little guy again. Yeah, that's where a lot of my weekends and off work time goes now, is obviously being a dad, and I love it quite a bit. And then I still manage to find a little bit of time to do some painting, so I can't really complain. Right now it's doing okay. Like I said, my son is asleep behind me. He was down here watching the YouTubes and playing a little bit. So I'm just going to apply that glaze there. All right. So while I'm waiting on that to dry, there's plenty of other stuff to work on. One of the things I want to work on, that's not, I'm trying to get rid of all my dead or dying paint bottles. When you buy like repeat colors all the time, the colors will start to die. You'll start to run short on other colors. I really gotta find this black gray. Where'd it go? Yeah, you start to run out of your colors, and then you just keep the bottle for some, or I do. I just keep the bottle, and I don't even know why. All right, so I'm just going to add some black gray to this glaze medium. And I'm going to make a black gray glaze. And just do that for the pants. Because I'm going for that Dunan look. Sorry, the Appleseed look again. Briareos and Dunan. Alright, you're actually painting right now. What are you painting? This is a lot heavier than I thought it would be. That's okay. Uh-oh. Hear that? I got Overwatch on right now, but I'm listening. Nice. I'm painting a GW Age of Sigmar Stormcast dude. Cool. Happy shoulder pads with that. And thanks for tuning in, Cameron. So yeah, we're just gonna do a quick paint job on the the pants here, because this model is actually, the intricate part is getting the armor done right. And then once the armor's done, there's really not much else that's complex on the model. It's pretty straightforward. Oops. What model is that? Looks rad. This is Catalog from Relic Knights. So this is another one of the new resin models. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna, if my Extra Life campaign, if I hit my goal before the event, for the online guys, I'm going to open up what is called the vault, like all my limited edition stuff, and then also painted stuff like this. So I may drop this in if if we get the vault to open. So yeah, I'm going for like that apple seed look on this guy, right? So most of him is going to be most of the cloth is going to be this black color, and I'm not sure what the other color should be right now. Yeah, maybe I don't want to do yellow. I think that's just gonna wash out. But yellow is the color of the, I don't know. Should you maybe white? Should the border there be white? Or should it be some other color? It could be orange. I could do an orange border there. That'll look kind of cool. The other thing I need to do is I'm going to ink wash the base. So I'm going to get my Nuln Oil, and I'm going to wash the whole base. And I might as well do it now because the boots are actually done. Ooh, that's a lot of Nuln Oil. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with these, with the Relic Knights resins. I think right now I'd have to say they're my favorite things to paint. Although, there's stuff like Kingdom Death that's always great to paint. And, I do like painting stuff like Infinity, that kind of stuff. But with these Relic Knights minis, you get these nice swooping contours, and it's an anime theme, and it's, you get plenty of okay, so a lot of other miniature ranges, they would actually, this would all be detail work because it would be, all 5 different colors, and you'd have to paint every individual spike in and all that kind of stuff. But this is anime, so you can blend, you can make this all one, the color scheme itself need only be 2 colors, but because you have these big swooping areas here to blend and to play around with, the model is you get to have a lot of fun with this is just browns and washes and glazes and stuff, and this is just it's awesome. I love it. But yeah, that's fantastic. Let me show you what else I've been working on here. So kind of along the same time, I started on this other Castellan. And well, the first thing you might notice about the Castellan is, oh, speaking of which, I better just let's put this back in. Let's put this back in the Relic Knights group so that everyone knows. Oh, well, no, I shouldn't do that because that's the last. There we go. I'm just gonna put that in there so, because it's the top thread. I don't want to keep spamming. I'm just gonna put it as a subcategory of this of the spam or response to the spam. All right, here we go. So anyway, so yeah, here is the Castellan, and so I did the airbrush work the other night, the Zenithal Prime, and then I actually took it up a step and started to do some of the whites on the model, and then I also ran an ink glaze on it. So with the ink glaze, you can see that this has got all the shadow that I want from it. And I love the little tweak on the pose here. So let me show you what the actual artwork is like on this, and then I can show you the difference here. So here's the studio pose, and on the studio, this one actually isn't even how the model is supposed to be posed, but it's close. It has the lance out in the front, and then it has the shield off to the side. And this model is actually supposed to be floating. It comes on a you get a like an aerial style base, the little swoosh, and I don't like that. A model this big, I don't want to suspend it. I don't want to have a big, like this to me looks ugly, this big giant like resin swoosh thing. Nobody, so I didn't even put it on there. Same with the counterweights. You're supposed to put it on the swoosh, and then you put the counterweights in the back too, and I didn't do either of those things because I wanted it to just kind of stand up on this nice Kickstarter base, and then so then I shaded the whole thing. But as far as changing the pose, you can see his lance. I have him holding the lance all the way up in the air, and then I have his head tilted here off to the side, and then I'm using the shield as almost more the front center of the model, right? So it's like he's about to block a hit, and he's bringing his lance up in the air like he's about to come in and riposte, right? Freaking awesome. Like, there are very few miniatures in gaming today that can come to this level of cool. I really feel strongly about that. Like, you know, I don't care if you hate Relic Knights or Soda Pop miniatures or whatever, but like that, like name another miniature that comes even close to that. This is a freaking Gunpla, okay? I mean, these are the kind of kits that those guys that do $300 Gunpla kits would love to work on. It's a freaking gaming piece, you know? That's what just I absolutely love about Ninja Division and their you know, their whole theme is like, we're going to take stuff like this and we're going to make that, you're going to be able to game with that. That's ridiculous. Yeah, it's an expensive piece, but guess what? It's totally worth, it's like worth every dime as far as I'm concerned. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful piece. I sound like the Corvus Belly guy. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece. Beautiful models. I love that guy. What's his name? The Infinity guy, the Spanish guy. I don't know. I put a little white in here. So now I gotta start painting these gems in. And so from Appleseed, the eyes are red, right? Briareus eyes are red. And then I'm going to do all of these other gems are going to be like a blue-green, okay? So, and then the energy coming out of the gun, like that part, that's going to be a blue-green as well. Man, it would be nice if, would be really nice if I could get this thing to focus every now and then, right? There we go. It focuses for like a second. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to manually go in and get it to focus. Does it not let me do that anymore? There we go. Configure. All right, and then I'm gonna do a manual focus on it. Whoa, did you go too far? Actually, looks pretty good right there. Whoa, like grabbing all the wrong stuff here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Right there. Okay. All right. So now you can see how Brighteros is coming along. I think it looks pretty good so far. Let's get the gems down. So we need a couple different reds to do this. And I'm going to need an orange. That's not the orange I want. That's a good orange. That's a good orange. There's the orange I want. And then for the blues, we're going to do that. There we go. Actually, verdigris is better. If I can find verdigris. There we go. Alright, ready? What time will you go to CQ? Let's see. Does his gun shoot black holes? It looks like it would do that. It actually, it shoots Esper. Like the whole mechanic behind this model is if you have friendly models who have held Esper around it, its damage goes up, and then it shoots these giant blasts. I mean, it does. They do kind of like force models out of the AOE and do a bunch of damage to them. So I guess, I mean, that's kind of a reverse black hole. What time will you go to CQ? I'm not sure what you're asking me. If I'm going this weekend, I'm going to be at CQ for the event, and I'll be there bright and early, like right when it's starting. Let me just okay. So with the red, oh, that's the wrong red again. Man. So for the red, I'm going to use this color Scarlet. And same deal, I'm going to make it super, super thin. So that it kind of leaves that translucent look to it. Oh, Halloween dice. Oh, tomorrow. I have to take the family to a Halloween party in the afternoon, like right when I'm done with work. So I'm probably gonna stop by there. I don't know, like probably 4 on my way out to the party. So that's my plan for CQ. Yeah, I almost totally forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. All right. Let's paint his eyeballs in. So nothing terribly scientific about this. You just make that red color. Right? I guess I should make the gem on his shoulder badge also that red, so let's do that. Okay. And then maybe, oh no, and then all the other gems should be that blue. So I'm going to use electric blues this. But yeah, this model has been a treat thus far. And I know I'm painting like a lot slower than I typically do. And that's part of the fun, actually, is I get to slow down and just paint for me. Now, if you guys want me to paint faster or paint more or get the stuff that I'm painting, please donate to my Extra Life campaign, because like I said, once we start hitting the goal and stuff, then I'm going to start giving this stuff away. So again, there's my shameless plug, but it is a worthy cause, you guys. And you know, this isn't like me asking for money for myself. This is for the kids' hospital for CHOC. I wish they would. I wish that Saddleback Memorial Hospital was a Children's Miracle Network hospital, because then I could be gaming for the same hospital that both of my sons were born in. And that would be cool. That'd be a little extra special for me. But yeah, well, for Extra Life, I really had to kind of take it serious, like really kind of take stock and see if I was going to do it. And, you know, it ended up where I didn't think I was going to do it. I just didn't think that, man, that's just not going to work, is it? Let's use some of this white there. But yeah, I didn't think I was going to do it, and I was like ready to tell Kelly, hey, look, I can't. She was pushing me for a paint day, because paint days are super popular at CQ. And I said, hey, you know, my son's only going to be a month old. I don't know what I can commit to, what I can't commit to. And she was like, okay. So she brought in Spencer, who actually did the last paint day, and Spencer did a good job. And so he was doing Extra Life, and it was like, hey, can you help? You want to team up and work on this event together. And that's kind of what we ended up doing. And in the process, it was like, well, I'm already doing a lot of the stuff that I do anyways, like enlisting sponsors and promoting and all that stuff. I'm already doing that. I might as well just you know, run my own Extra Life campaign. So that's where we get to where we're at now. And in the back of my head, I kind of knew that that's pretty much what was going to happen. Ooh. Okay. So, and then We're going to stick that blue right there. There we go. He needs a color, like another color. I think we're gonna do like a military green, because like I said, we are. Or maybe not military green. Maybe this like foul green might be good. Just on like the vest and the trim and stuff. Man, that black gray is not drying on the model. Did I put too much thinner medium in it, maybe? Maybe. Yeah, that's like really, really shiny. See that down below? Okay, so now I'm going to paint this tank top. I have to pull him off out of frame here for a minute to do it. So that way he has a green harness. And you gotta be careful when it's that thin. It just runs everywhere. Even when you are trying to like dab most of the moisture off. Just has a tendency to want to run everywhere. You can always add a little bit more paint to thicken it up. There you go. Get some control back. Right. What was that? So I'll put that green there. And then we'll use this green as the belt and some of the other detail. It's kind of minty. I don't think anyone's ever going to look back there. So much of the focus of this model is the armor. So is anyone, let me ask you guys this, anyone dressing up for Halloween tomorrow? Certainly I am. You guys might have seen my costume online. I'm going as a work-related Skeletor is what I'm calling it now. I started off and I was like, IT support Skeletor is kind of cool. And he has some. I've got the Skeletor costume, and then I'm wearing an Initech shirt, from Office Space with it. But and so I was calling him IT support Skeletor. But right now I'm thinking work-related Skeletor is funnier. I may actually tomorrow, instead of the Initech shirt, I might wear um, like an orange safety vest and be corporate safety Skeletor. But either way, I'm going to be some form of Skeletor tomorrow. I'm dressing him as a doorman because I'll be answering the door this year. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be corporate safety Skeletor. Can't wear that costume to work, but I can wear it uh, to the little party that we're going to. Okay, a little bit of that green back there. So not really gonna do much to the green, because I want the green to really just kind of be almost like a background color. I really don't want to call much attention to the green. What I love about this glaze medium stuff is when you make a mistake, it's so easy to just go in and correct it while it's wet. It's really not an issue at all. Green's awful bright though. I'll let's see, base him off the boring guy from Office Space and call him Skelisnor. Oh, you mean are you talking about Milton? Love Milton. It's like he's like my favorite character on Office Space. Excuse me. I love Milton. Let's see. So catalog. Oh, they kind of have him in like he's got like a Phantom of the Opera type thing on, and then he's got that red. He's got like a prominent red bit right there. Okay. So we'll let stuff dry for a minute. Man, those pants are still not dry. Okay. Now, I'm going to use a darker red. Actually, yeah. I'm going to use a darker red. And kind of just shade in the bottom parts of the red gems. Yeah, could you do this? Oh, you mean Nordberg. Oh, yeah. I love Nordberg. Uh, yeah. We're going to want you to come in on Saturday. And while you're at it, oh, I nearly forgot, Peter. Can you come in on Sunday? Nordberg is awesome. Not Nordberg. What's his name, Nordberg? Shoot. Oh, man. Was it Nordberg? Lumberg. Lumberg. Nordberg is O.J. Simpson from The Naked Gun. Also a decent idea for a costume. But no, Lumberg. Bill Lumberg is that guy's name from Office Space. I'm a big Office Space fan. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna need you to come in on Saturday. That'd be great. Gotta love that guy. Okay, now I need an actual white, like a pure white. There we go. Because I'm going to be putting a dot there in a minute. So now, I'm just going to do some of the gem work. And so I'm going to take this darker red and kind of just run it right where the darker bit would be. Shoot, I need to turn autofocus back on. Damn it. Yeah. So we're gonna take that darker red and just kind of stick it where the shadows of the red are supposed to be. Like right here on the hand, I'm going to stick it right here along the bottom and kind of run it up that way. Okay. And then I can do the same on the little eyes. Oh. You know, they tell you to use the biggest brush that you can manage. Sometimes that's a lie. Sometimes you need a smaller brush because you're trying to get into a tighter angle like I am. Okay. And then similarly with the blue, we're going to actually need a darker blue. So I'm going to take this heavy blue, make a glaze out of that. Yeah, Office Space was great. Love that movie. Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, hi. Remember when he's leaving all the voicemail messages? Yeah, hi. Lumberg was awesome. Okay. So once again, just take the bottom of the gem areas, or where the bottom from the perspective where the light's coming from. Just do that. And then in the case of this like burst thing out here, you actually want it around the edges of the burst, right? Like the cannon's about to fire. All right, so now let's get a little white. and just put in the white dots. Miniature is almost done, actually. I mean, there's a little work to be done on the pants, but the pants have decided not to dry tonight, so I'm not even going to worry about it too much. So for the dots, one thing I have to say about this step is you want to make sure the dots are nice and round. Oval dots do not work. The dot is not convincing if it's not round. And don't make them any bigger than they have to be. Hey, Lord Draconim, just thought I'd drop in and say hello. Yeah, I'm going to need you to come in and help me loose the He-Man. I just think that Skeletor is appropriate for all occasions. I think there should be a holiday Skeletor for every holiday you can think of. Obviously Christmas and Halloween, but you can do like an Arbor Day Skeletor, St. Patrick's Day Skeletor. I don't know, I just think he needs to be Independence Day Skeletor would be pretty cool too. And just a little dot there in the middle. Business end of the gun there. Okay, so really, I mean that's what we're looking at. Let me. One thing I will do right now is I'm gonna wash that green, and I could wash it with Biel-Tan green, which is a little too green. I was hoping for a little more military, so I'm gonna go with Athenian camo shade to try to dull up that green a little bit. It's a little too striking, right? A little too. There we go. That looks great. That did the trick. Here, let me show you. See? Whoa. Oh, man. There we go. See that? Much better. Okay. And finally, the very last thing we got to do on this model is we're going to paint the lip black, right? That looks nice. Thanks, dude. Let's go with black. And the black should... I love how when you do the last step, and the black really just sort of sharpens everything up. I love that. So, not to bring this into the that type of discussion, but anyone want to wear an offensive costume tomorrow? Because I really get upset about that when they deem uh, costumes offensive. I mean, granted, there probably are some offensive costumes out there, but I think we've become a little too sensitive about costumes. I'll give you a perfect example. So my wife is dressed. She went dressed as like a Day of the Dead, type of character, a Dia de los Muertos type character, right? So she had her face done with the jewels and the stitches and the whole nine, and she had the big dress with the petticoats and all that stuff, right? Typical Day of the Dead kind of mourning widow type thing. And we went to that Halloween party for those kids, and some people, you know, were like kind of offended by her costume. And she wore that same costume to school in a previous year. She wore that same costume, and her kids are over 2/3 Hispanic. They loved it. They love the costume. But these days, I don't know, cultural appropriation type of thing. And so I think we ran into a little of that. Like she was saying, like she was getting some sneers from some of the moms and stuff there. Um, yeah. So anyway, I shouldn't be talking about that. We should just be painting and enjoying it, having a good time, right? Um, yeah. Here's the librarian. Pretty cool, if I say so. I mean, fun model to paint. It was a lot of blends, a lot of shading, a lot of highlighting, and then the final result is it's a pretty like subtle looking model. I wonder if I turn this off, does it actually give you a better? I don't know. Does that look better or worse? Is that a decent depiction how the model looks? Let's see. I'm looking at yeah, this is from Relic Knights. I'm looking at my monitor and then your guys' feed. I think it looks cool. I don't know. You guys tell me. I think that it's a cool looking model. Gonna have to let the pants dry, if and when they ever dry. That black, it's not drying. And I think I may need the backlight. Maybe the backlight does absolutely nothing for the feed. It may not. Yeah, it's not focusing very well, is it? I like it. I like it. Just would get into it, but I have a lot of games. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, give it some time too. I mean, we know that those of us who play Relic Knights know that they're coming out with a 2.0 and a two-player starter in a month or less. It's actually less than a month's time. I would say a month or more. Things get delayed. I don't know. I would say it's about a month or more. Maybe by December, we'll see the 2.0 with the two-player starter. And the resin stuff is just phenomenal. But yeah, I was going for old school Appleseed. Now, if you look at the new Appleseed, they do a lot more black and a lot more gray and steel with these two characters. But like old school Appleseed, there it was more of like like a beige color. So that's kind of what I was going for here with. Now, granted, you could never run these two Relic Knights. These two are not a pair, but they look like they go together. Like this just reminds me of Dunan and Briareos from Appleseed. I don't know why. It just, well, I totally know why, but they should have stuck him in the same faction. I mean, look at that. That looks correct. That's Dunan and Briareos, man. You should play that. That's awesome. Anyway, what do I know? And then here's my future Relic Knights cosplay. I will be doing this guy at some point, Mr. CSM Alex here, just because I already have half of the pieces of this cosplay, and I have a goatee. So, like, you know how hard it is to find an anime character with a goatee, right? Like this is it. This is it, man. This is pretty much it. I can't even be like Golgo 13 or anything. It's like I with a goatee, I could either be this guy or I could shave my hair and be Master Yoshi. Like those are my options. But yeah, you can see he is really cool. But yeah, those are some of the RK resins. And then, you know, I love showing off this guy right here. Hold on, let me get the... Let's just move the librarian out of the way for a second. Love, love, love this guy. Love that guy. Why not? Like, who doesn't love that guy? Look at that guy. He's awesome. Like, you want to be that guy. Ooh. Yeah, this is the Castellan. And it's just gorgeous. And that's all I'm really going to say about it. It's just a gorgeous model. I need to figure out the next step here on this white, on the Castellan. Let me start putting some colors away. I may go with like this color, pale gray blue, or I may go glacial blue. And frankly, I don't know. I haven't figured out what is really gonna work better. Here's glacial blue. So glacial, they're both, one has a little more gray in it and one has a little more blue in it, right? On my other Shattered Sword minis, I've been using glacier blue, and it looks okay, but it doesn't quite, doesn't quite give the semblance of shadow and transition. It's a great, you know, for cool white, it's great. You can do some really cool, like cartoony cool white, but for this being such a big model, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to try it. Let's just try a panel tonight. How about that? Let's just see. Let's try a panel and see if we like it, see if we don't like it. Okay. So I'm really leaning this way. So we're gonna try this pale gray blue, because I can't figure it out. And then we get to do the exact same thing with pure white. So I think I might have made that too thin. But it's such a, yeah, that's like, it's a nice gray. I think it needs a, I'm going to give this a little bit more. I'm going to give this like one more drop of gray. because I want this to be a little more opaque. All right, let's try it. So I tend to pick, when I'm experimenting, I tend to pick the less conspicuous bits of the model. So I'm going to actually do the backpack, because the center backpack there, because it's too dark to begin with, so can't actually screw this up too bad. Now, one thing I'm already kind of screwing up, because you really should be painting from the light side down. In other words, you should be painting this starting at the top of the section to be painted and then rolling downwards. Whoa. See that? This is why people don't like painting white, because you got to just keep doing it over and over and over again. But I actually love white color schemes on models, because I'm a masochist. But I don't know, I love how clean it looks. I love it when you get your transitions right. I love how that looks. But yeah, it's a lot of like teasing out the color there. But you can see it's like getting there. It's definitely, this is actually a pretty good color. I think I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to paint a little bit more. Right? Because you don't want to paint, like pure white on these models. At least not until the very end. Like the very, very, very last highlight you're going to do will be pure white. But yeah, let's do the backpack. Let's do the back of the model. And then maybe I can do more of this off camera, because this would be torture to sit here and watch me do all of the white, you know, especially considering I'm going to have to do a few laps actually to get these to really get that white color down. So the idea for the white is to use that gray, and then as really the base color, and then use pure white as the tip highlight, as just the edge highlight. And it should look pretty good when all is said and done. The other thing is with how thin this glaze is, you're supposed to build up the color slowly. So there should be plenty of shadows left on the model by the time I'm done. Okay. I don't even know what the color scheme of this model is yet. I haven't decided. I know I want at least some of the model to have the white for a shadowed sword, but I don't know if this ends up being a more blue model or a little more gray even. I don't know that yet. And just finish the backpack just so you guys can see what the next step is of the model, but I'm definitely not going to do it here on camera and make all of us want to kill ourselves. I'm not going to do that. Plus I hear my little boy. I'm going to bring him upstairs and we're going to go to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow. An idea to get that model and paint it my old Menoth colors of burgundy and eggshell white. That sounds cool. Does War Machine use anything on 80 mil bases? Alright, so you can see there, just started on the backpack. It's going to take a few layers to get this looking correct, but ugh. Nope, once you get past 50, it shoots to 120. It's a bummer. I was going to say, you just use this as a proxy something if you wanted to. But yeah, the whole idea with this gray is it's going to take these shadows and start to blend them into more solid colors, right? So like even, so if I take the tip of this wing here on the shoulder pad, I can just, do that. And you can see it's starting to get you can see how like I'm pushing that highlight up on the shoulder pad using this gray. And with it being a glaze, it's nice and soft, so the edges aren't going to be hard. You can actually you can push right up to that edge and just tease the color there. And so you have to do it. Now the unfortunate part is you have to do it for the entire model, right? And it gets tedious on a model like this that has all these, so many different breaks. You can see it there, here, right around the edge there. But you see what I'm doing. I'm just taking that and pulling that pale blue-gray over to where I want it. And then if you screw up because it's so thin, wet your brush, get in there and remove it. I'll show you a little bit more painting. I'll show you here using this part. And the whole idea is you just go, you thin it down like a lunatic, like you're just trying to paint milk on there. And you start to build up the color. And transitions start to look really nice. Right? And that's what's giving us our transition here. A crying cat upstairs. Well, gotta be early up early tomorrow night, everyone. Good night, Cameron. I'm wrapping up too. I know I got a little stuck in this whole painting white stuff. See that? Whoa. All right. Yeah, it looks like I didn't really do anything. But that's what I'm going to be doing here for a while. Just working on the whites and stuff like that. Um, I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Let's bring back the catalog so that we can look at tonight's work. All right. So yeah, really fun model. Really enjoyed that. Um, Fun kit. We'll see. I don't know how he's going to do in my Doctrine cadre because I tend to run a lot more mobility and armor rather than ranged in armor, but that's fine. You know, he may have a good spot in the group. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank everybody for watching. Have a happy Halloween if I don't see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, go out there, rock your shit, man. Wear some great costumes. Enjoy yourself. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next one.